Hey guys, it's your boy Rugby League Roundup back here with another episode of the Beyond the Tryline podcast. Today is episode 15 and we are reviewing the New Zealand Warriors 2025 season. So, without further ado, let's get into the video. As always, we compare the 2024 season to the 2025 season. We start with 2024 where they finished in 9th place with 9 wins, 1 draw and 14 losses. They scored 512 points and conceded 574 points. In 2025, the Warriors finished 3 positions higher, finishing in 6th place with 14 wins, which is 5 more than the season before, and 10 losses, which is 4 less than the season before. They got 517 points in 2025, which was only 5 points better, but the big improvement in the Warriors for 2025 was the defense, where they only conceded 496 points, which is 78 points less than they conceded in 2024. Let's have a look at the attacking stats for the New Zealand Warriors in 2025. They finished 12th in points per game with 21 points, 3.9 line breaks per game, which finished in 16th. Tackle breaks per game, they had 30.4, which finished in 12th. They finished in 9th for run meters with 1,665 per game. 7.7 offloads per game, which was 16th. So those sort of stats weren't great, but the stats that they really excelled in attacking-wise was their completion rate per game, which was 81.4%, which finished in 2nd, and the errors, which they had 10 per game, which also finished with the 2nd least errors in the competition. The defense and discipline for the Warriors, though, was much better, with 20.6 points conceded per game, which was the 5th best defense in the competition, as well as missing 33 tackles per game, which was 9th. And then they conceded 5 penalties per game, which finished in 15th, with the 3rd least penalties conceded. And they only had 5 sin bins too. So far, out of all the reviews I've done, that is the best defense and discipline of the season. So Warriors had a good defensive season, and all they need to do is probably just tweak their attack a little, and maybe they have a better 2026. After looking at the team stats, it's time for our player reviews. If you guys don't know how this works, we review each player's 2025 season, and if they've played 10 games or more, we give them a pass or a fail on whether they did good or whether I think they did bad. But without further ado, let's get into this one. The first player we review is Adam Pompey, who managed to play 25 games for the New Zealand Warriors, which is all the games they played this season, including finals. He scored 11 tries and had 5 try assists. He also averaged 100 running meters and had an 88% tackle efficiency. So for me, I'm going to give Adam Pompey a pass, as I think he had a decent year for the New Zealand Warriors. Second rower, Marate Niukore, I thought had a decent season with 4 tries in 25 games. And he averaged 74 run meters. For me, I think he had a solid impact. Sometimes he was playing off the bench, sometimes he was starting, and I thought he did his job quite well. So I'm going to give Marata Niukore a pass for 2025. Aaron Clark, while he had no tries, he really did show why he's the Daily M Lock of the Year. I mean, he had such a great season. He tackled at 96% and had 147 running meters. But not only that, when the likes of James Fisher-Harris and Mitchell Barnett were out with injury, he really stood up for the Warriors in 2025. So for me, I'm going to give Aaron Clark a pass mark. Easily the Warriors Rookie of the Year, Leka Halasima. He played 25 games, scoring 12 tries, and he had a 94% tackle efficiency with 88 run meters per game. This guy is a beast, and he just busts tackles, he wins games. He can literally change momentum. So for me, I'm going to give Leka Halasima a pass. That one's very easy for me to do. Chanel Harris-Tavita. In my opinion, Chanel had his career best year. His running game really excelled for the Warriors with 8 tries and 61 running meters per game, while his creativeness was also exceptional with 22 try assists. And the one thing that's always a constant is his defense. He always tackles 85% or higher, usually, and this year had 89% tackle efficiency. So for me, it's quite easy. I'm going to give Chanel Harris-Tavita a pass. Dimitrik Vimolga 24 games, 2 tries and 2 try assists. I think it was very solid in his first full season of first grade. And he was very good off the bench with 68 run meters per game. And he also tackled really well at 96% efficiency. So for me, Dimitri Vimorga is going to get a pass mark. Kurt Capewell, he's always been a good leader, but defensively was not his best season. I think he missed about 100 plus tackles, but he got moved around from centre, second row, so he got moved around quite a bit. And centre, there's obviously probably one of the harder defensive positions. He also averaged 80 run meters per game with 2 tries and 7 try assists. So for me, I'm going to give him a pass, but it's just a pass for me. He could have gone either way. Whether you look at his defensive stats and that's enough for you to give it a fail, that's fair enough. But for me, he's a good leader for the Warriors and he always gives it his all, so I'm going to give him a pass mark. Chance Nickel-Klokstad. While he didn't get involved a lot in the attack, his defense was outstanding with an 87% tackle efficiency. He also averaged 186 run meters per game and he got 6 try assists and 2 tries. For me, I think Chance has done enough to get a pass mark, but in 2026, I would like to see him get a bit more involved on the attacking side because I think he can be a huge threat. Egan, one of the better Warriors players, one of my favourite Warriors players. He had 2 tries and 3 try assists in 2026. Usually he does have a little bit more stats, but I still think it's quite reasonable. He tackled at 93% tackle efficiency, which is absolutely great. And he also averaged 61 run meters per game. So for me, I'm going to give Wade Egan a pass. And I think if he can run the ball a little bit more, he'll be more of a threat in the attack. But definitely a pass. Moving on, we've got Jackson Ford. And obviously Jackson Ford is probably one of my favourite players from the Warriors. 3 tries in 2025 with 124 run meters per game and an 88% tackle efficiency. While the tackle efficiency can improve, I think his effort overall and the little things he does is so great for the Warriors. So I'm going to give him a pass. Roger Tuivasa-Sheck. What more is there to say about this player? He's still an absolute weapon with 12 tries in 19 games and 216 run meters per game. Not only that, his defense is pretty solid with 87% tackle efficiency on the wing. So for me, I'm going to give Roger Tuivasa-Sheck a pass for 2025. James Fisher-Harris. In his first season at the Warriors, I thought he was a solid addition with 96% tackle efficiency and 115 run meters per game. I think he stood out and I think he was a great leader for the Warriors forward pack in 2025. If he doesn't get injured towards the back end of the 2025 season, I think he's probably up there in one of the better players for the Warriors. But still very good season, and I think 2026 he's going to have a great year. Tamare Martin, I think he played about 16 games in 2025 with 5 try assists and a try, but played a lot off the bench, and I thought he was pretty good. He also had a 91% tackle efficiency. So whenever he played, I thought he did his job quite well, and I'm going to give him a pass mark for 2025. Dallin Watene-Zelezniak. A lot of fans had their questions over his season, and some thought he didn't do his best, and some thought he still did reasonably well. I'm one to think that he just did okay, nothing really wrong. Some defensive issues, but still tackled really well with 83% tackle efficiency. He had 122 run meters per game, and that has slumped a little from previous seasons where it's probably been about 30 meters higher. But he still had 8 tries as well. So I'm going to give him a pass mark, but if you want to give him a fail, that's your decision. I think either way is fine. But for me, I'm going to give DWZ a pass mark for 2025. Before his injury for the Warriors, Luke Metcalf was the best player, not only in the Warriors side, but probably in the whole NRL. This guy was well on his way to winning the Daily M medal for Player of the Year. His points were racking up week by week, and until he got injured, he was pretty much first. He was that instrumental. He had 8 tries and 11 try assists. I mean, the dude had that much impact for the Warriors. He was so missed when he got injured. And especially in that final series where they really needed him, you could tell he was sorely missed. So for me, Luke Metcalf is a pass for 2025 and hopefully an injury-free year come 2026 season. Aine Tuapiki. He has been sitting behind the back line for a while, but got to play a little bit more this year. In 2025 with 14 games, 2 tries, and 8 try assists. I thought he was really solid. He also was defensively solid with an 84% tackle efficiency, and he averaged 133 running meters per game. So for me, I'm going to give him a pass. I think he's a threat whenever he plays, and whenever he plays at fullback, I think he always shines. So hopefully he gets a bit more of a chance, and I mean, Warriors need to hang on to him because I think he's a great player. Tanner Stowers-Smith, I haven't really seen a lot, but what I did see, I thought he was good. I thought he did his job. He looked like a decent player. He got to play 13 games in his first season, so for me, I'm going to give him a pass, and he's a big body, so Warriors are going to need that in 2026 and hopefully get some more first grade under his belt. To finish off our player reviews before we move into the signings and losses, we have Jacob Laban and Mitch Barnett. Jacob Laban had a very solid season in my opinion. Whenever he played, averaged 50 run meters per game and had a 94% tackle efficiency. He possesses, he's pretty tall and pretty solid, and he looks like a threat whenever he runs. He's pretty dangerous, so hopefully they can unlock him a little bit more. And then the last play, obviously, Mitch Barnett. His season got cut short against the Rabbitohs in that round 10 clash, I'm pretty sure. He was really solid up until that point too, so I'm going to give him a pass. Now, let's move on to the signings and losses for 2026. Now, as we see, the signings and losses, Morgan Gannon from Leeds Rhinos until 2028, Alofiana Khan-Pereira from the Titans until 2028, Joe Linane from Newcastle until 2028, and then Hazan Mellors from South Sydney Rabbitohs until the end of 2028. They've lost Bunty Afoa to the West Tigers, Tom Arley to Penrith, Toby Crosby to Penrith, Kalani Going also to Penrith, Moala Graham Taufa and Edward Kossie go to the South Sydney Rabbitohs, Freddie Lussick to Penrith, and Setutu to the Dragons. Obviously, Dylan Walker was a mid-season move, so I'm not going to count that. And Eddie Aramia Toava re-signed until the end of 2028. To finish off the video, as we always do, we do our final awards. So let's start with their best win of the 2025 season. And for me, that was against the Sharks, where they won 40-10. And then their worst loss has to be against the Panthers, where they lost 28-18 to pretty much a fully reserve grade Panthers side. Their best player for me is obviously Luke Metcalf. I thought he was outstanding up until he got injured. Their hardest worker award, I'm going to give to Aaron Clark. That dude put in the hard yards, and it really showed all the fans, and he really stood out. So, hardest worker, Aaron Clark. And then the Rookie of the Year, I think it's pretty easy to say. It is going to be Leka Halasima. So guys, that'll do it for my final awards and my season review. I think the Warriors had a good season. And if they can stay fit and healthy, they could possibly make the top 8 again. We just have to wait and see. But that'll do it for this episode of the Beyond the Tryline podcast. I hope you enjoyed my Warriors season review. And I will see you guys in the next video. Cheers.